Representative Jasmine Crockett just straight up exposed Melania Trump during today's House hearing, and something about the way Representative Crockett delivers her punches really just appeals to me. It's got a level of edge that most other Democrats don't have. Zohran is the same way. He's able to deliver a punch in a really, really satisfying way. So today, Representative Jasmine Crockett participated in another House hearing, and this one focused on restoring integrity in the visa process. Now, obviously, only one party is making a good faith effort to restore the visa process, to streamline the immigration process as a whole, and that's the Democrats. Republicans would revoke visas en masse if they could. Oh wait, Trump already did that to every single student going to Harvard on a visa. They don't want to streamline it. They don't care about streamlining it. So Representative Jasmine Crockett very astutely calls out Melania Trump and calls out the extraordinary hypocrisy that exists within the Republican Party today. Okay, before I play this clip, let's just start from the beginning. This morning, Donald Trump attacked not only Zohran Mamdani, but Jasmine Crockett. Yesterday, Trump sent out this long post attacking Jasmine Crockett, Ilhan Omar, and AOC. And it's like, that's gotta be sexist, bro. It's gotta be racist too. Like, when you're attacking 3 women of color in the party in one post and nobody else, come on, dude, you're the president of the United States. And that's what Jasmine Crockett points out. Trump said, I have an idea for the Democrats to bring them back into play. After years of being left out in the cold, how about they have a presidential election with low IQ candidate Jasmine Crockett? That's got to be racist. Her as president. AOC should be vice president. Zohran Mamdani can be a cabinet member, is what he's saying. So Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett says, thanks for your vote of confidence, I guess. Unlike you, I'd actually be focused on the American people, the issues they're facing, making sure they have health care, and consulting with Congress before dropping bombs on another country. Once again, you've got very big problems to deal with, and somehow you're still focused on me. Trump is currently trying to put out like multiple 5-alarm fires right now in the form of a war in the Middle East. He hasn't cut any deals on tariffs, 0 deals. His big ugly bill domestically is struggling. He has 5-alarm fires to put out, and he can't focus on a single one. Here's Jasmine Crockett calling out Melania Trump.
In this country. And since we're talking about integrity, I'm confused as to why my Republican colleagues aren't talking about the lack of integrity when it comes to the president's family's visas. Let me remind y'all that Melania, the First Lady, a model, and when I say model, I'm not talking about Tyra Banks, Cindy Crawford, or Naomi Campbell level, applied for and was given an EB-1 visa. And what that stands for is an Einstein visa. Now, y'all that don't know, let me tell you how you receive an Einstein visa. You're supposed to have some sort of significant achievement, like being awarded a Nobel Peace Prize or a Pulitzer, being an Olympic medalist, or having other sustained extraordinary abilities and success in sciences, arts, education, business, or athletics. Last time I checked, the First Lady had none of those accolades under her belt. It doesn't take an Einstein to see that the math ain't mathin' here.
It does not take a genius to see the math ain't mathin'. Honestly, if anything, Melania has the extraordinary skill of putting up with Donald Trump over the past 2 or so decades. But no, that gets to the core of Republican hypocrisy. They don't care about anybody. They have no empathy for anybody. They want to make life harder for people until it affects them. When it comes to Melania, you know, that's a special case. She can get an Einstein visa despite having 0 actual achievements. When it comes to, I don't know, abortion, I have friends who have been pro-life their entire life, or anti-choice. Then they enter college, have a little bit of a scare, and all of a sudden they're very pro-choice. They don't care until it affects them. Here we have Jasmine Crockett continuing to expose the lies.
All of this talk about lowering costs and reducing waste is absolute BS.
This is from yesterday where she exposes Elon.
Their agenda is about one thing, making the federal government so weak that they can exploit it for their personal gain. They're stealing your data to help their companies. They're taking away your health care and food assistance to fund tax cuts for billionaires. Their agenda is pro-disinformation, pro-obstruction, pro-greed, and pro-exploitation. If you didn't know, that's what Doge actually spells out. D, disinformation, O, obstruction, G, greed, and E, exploitation. And congressional Republicans have been complicit in this agenda. They've helped this administration terrorize the public. They've allowed this administration to launch the country into a war without congressional approval. And while we're talking about saving money,
Yep.
Let me tell you, just dropping those few bombs in one day, that was the beginning of what is going to be a very long bill for us as they talk about being efficient. There was nothing efficient about doing it. And maybe if there was some consultation, maybe with those that say have constitutional authority, since we care about the Constitution, then maybe we could have saved the American people not only money, but the lives that are now at risk as we have to put out warnings for American citizens in this country and abroad. Maybe we need to start leading with the people at the middle of what it is that is guiding us instead of following one person. The reason that people like me say things like y'all are in a cult is because somehow people are abdicating their duties and abdicating the very people that put them into office. But I got 30 seconds. They've allowed this administration to steal congressionally approved money for cancer research and food delivery to vulnerable communities. They've allowed Elon Musk to infiltrate your medical records and banking data. They've allowed this administration to ignore court rulings, and now Republicans are here patting themselves on the back, literally arguing to make this chaos permanent. So Americans are going to continue to live through chaos and destruction that has been occurring ever since he swore in January. And I hope y'all remember who caused this, because it wasn't
the gentlelady's time has expired.
Also the congressional Republicans.
The gentlelady's time has expired.
Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene's smug ass didn't want to let Jasmine Crockett cook, but a few things. First of all, you get what I mean when I say that she's uniquely easy to listen to. Just very, very sharp. It's very, very concise, and it's not boring like a lot of Democrats are. But to bring this home, I just want to say that this Melania Trump example is a perfect microcosm of the way Republicans view immigration and other things. I already pointed out that Republicans just don't really care until it personally affects them. That's something I've seen across multiple issues, but even beyond that, I went to, 50 different Trump rallies leading into the election, the 2024 election, and every single time I was talking to his supporters, they would say something to the effect of, we only want to kick out the criminals. We don't really care if you're here illegally and you're still contributing. We just want the criminals gone, is what they would say, right? Like illegal immigrants who committed crimes, that's what they want the Trump admin to target. But once Trump gets into office, he begins to strip visas away from Harvard students, people who want to be doctors. He begins to surgically target people going to their court dates. We have raids at nail salons, car washes, work sites, places where people are just trying to make a living. And that's way different than just targeting people who have committed crimes, as Republicans told me leading into the election. So when Jasmine Crockett is pointing out that Melania Trump gets a free pass from Republicans to come over here because she's Republican, but any other person who is even vaguely brown who comes over here should have their visa revoked or shouldn't be able to get a green card, should have a million different hurdles and hoops to jump through, it kind of makes you think about conservatives' view on immigration, because they only want white South African people to come over, white South African people who they deem as targeted, but other refugees aren't allowed to come over. It just makes you think. It makes you think. I'll leave it there. Drop a like, subscribe. I love you all. I'll see you in the next video, and peace out.